Hi, welcome. Today I am going to explain about the film John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. Spoilers ahead, watch out fully. As his grace period comes to an end, John sprints through New York. He turns into an alley and spots one of the Bowery King's spies, the TikTok man. The roads are congested as he boards a taxi. Only 20 minutes remain until he is formally excommunicated, so he decides to get out of the car and flee once more. But not before giving the driver a gold coin to ensure that his dog gets to the Continental safely. When he enters the library and requests a book, a concealed compartment is revealed to contain some coins, a cross, a marker, and a photograph of him and his wife, which he kisses. He is surrounded by a big man named Ernest in the bookcases. Ernest doesn't care that John assures him he still has time. After all, who is going to notice a few minutes? After a struggle between the two, John breaks Ernest's jaw and snaps his neck with the help of the book. However, it leaves him with a serious stab wound to his shoulder. So, with only 5 minutes left, he makes a visit to the doctor at his home address. The doctor agrees to assist, but must stop sewing in the middle. The grace time has ended. The $14 million reward placed on John is fully active. John shoots and injures the doctor at his request to convince the high table that the doctor followed the excommunicado command after suturing himself up and ingesting some medications. When John leaves, a swarm of killers attack him right away. In a bloody series of confrontations employing various types of antique knives, John kills them after being cornered in an antique arms store. When John exits the building and enters the street, additional killers pursue him. They pursue him into a barn where John kills numerous adversaries by kicking them with the horse's muscular legs. However, 2 motorcycle-riding men pursue him as he leaves the stables on horseback. John rides his horse and kills them both. The reward for John is now $15 million. When John enters the theater, he is instructed to take his belt off and empty his pockets. He meets with the director and offers her the cross he took out of the library as a token of his request for assistance. They talk about John's past and where he was raised. She leads him to the theater's back, through the jiu-jitsu fighters and ballet dancers in training, and inquires about his needs. He requests a ticket to Casablanca. She consents, severing all ties with him and brandishing the cross as a result. The Continental is entered by an enigmatic woman. She hands Karen a penny and asks him to tell Winston, the manager, that an adjudicator is waiting for him. The adjudicator tells Winston that he must resign from his post because he permitted John to live, after spitting blood on Continental property after wanting to see Santino's body. The adjudicator pays a visit to the Bowery King. He claims to be upholding the excommunicado and informs her of this. She then tells him that because he supplied John a gun knowing what it will be used for, he must leave town because no one is exempt from the high table's laws. He chuckles in her face and says that since he already occupies the throne, he is unable to abdicate. Arrival of John in Casablanca. He is promptly attacked by 3 enemies brandishing knives. The fight is interrupted by a man who tells them both that the management has given John amnesty when one of them is killed in the conflict. Unhappy, the assassin tries to attack John, but the man shoots him. John is led to the manager's office at the Continental Hotel in Morocco by him and John. Before two snarling dogs arrive and stand watch next to him, he views pictures of a woman and her daughter. He is given the assignment to achieve this as well as to pursue those who assisted him. Sophia comes back to John well prepared. One of the dog's jackets is where she conceals a weapon. She is dubious despite John's assurances that he only wants to speak with her boss. When they get there, Sophia's former boss Barada is waiting for them there. In order to make atonement, John requests that Barada escort him to the elder, who sits above the high table. Although Barada is unaware of his location, he is aware that the elder only locates individuals who are on his wish list. Her dogs obey her directions as they shoot their way out of the facility and proceed to the desert. He offers to demonstrate fealty to the adjudicator, but she responds that he has already had his chance. In defiance, he sends his pigeon away before Zero cuts him 7 times to make up for the 7 shots he gave John. The Bowery King tumbles off the roof. A man in a cloak comes upon John in the wilderness. After that, John awakens in a tent. The elder approaches him and tells him that he has never seen a guy so lost. He questions his desire to live. According to John, it's to honor Helen. The elder then offers him 2 options: perish here or return as the boogeyman and remember via death. He then hands the elder the ring. His oath of fealty is accepted by the elder. He provides him with new clothing and instructs employees to assist him in getting ready for his return trip to New York. When John arrives in New York, he encounters 2 assassins. They are, however, defeated by certain ninjas. John is taken to visit Zero by the ninjas. When John and Zero are about to clash, a group of schoolchildren step in between them. John makes his getaway after snatching a motorcycle and murdering 2 motorcycle ninjas. Zero is pursuing John with his ninja assassins. John is led to the armament room where he is informed that the high table has upgraded their armor, and is advised to use a round with a higher caliber. While John, Karen, and a few devoted men go to confront the onslaught of high table thugs, Winston locks himself in the arms safe. John has to get up close and personal since their armor is harder than anyone anticipated. The adjudicator calls Winston and inquires as to how long he believes he can maintain the defense. Before she can finish, he puts the phone down. Only John and Karen make it through the initial high table wave. Karen shows him an armor-piercing shotgun as they reunite in the weapons safe. When John arrives in the previous glass chamber, 2 ninjas attack him and throw him through numerous glass exhibits. He eventually succeeds in using their respective swords to murder both. She makes the decision that she needs to examine John's body as the adjudicator departs. She returns to the Continental and informs Winston that the corpse has vanished. They do not want John Wick to pursue them, she informs him. Winston nods in agreement while muttering, "Baba Yaga." The TikTok man pushes a cart while John's dog trots behind. John, who is shattered and battered, is tipped out of the cart and comes to a stop in front of a makeshift throne. The Bowery King is sitting on the throne and sipping soda. He requests John to raise his hand if he can hear him even if he is severely wounded. John raises his hand with 3 fingers. The Bowery King discusses John's treason and the guidelines of the High Table. He says he's pissed off since more things are done behind closed doors. If John is pissed off as well, he inquires. John raises his head gradually. He has a blooded eye and is covered with bruises, but he can still respond. Yeah. You can download this movie by the link in the description. Thanks for watching this awesome recap. Subscribe for regular movie updates.